members from Burundi, members from Rwanda, members from Kenya, members from South Sudan, members from Tanzania, and members from Uganda. We are 6 countries, and we are doing a project in order to avoid the spread of disease in EAC Mobile Laboratory. We have here so many equipments. We are in training on TOT expert, training of trainers, and accelerated training in order to combat the Ebola disease in our region.
Here in East Africa community, we have a project of East Africa Community Mobile Laboratories. These are laboratories which are coming to enhance the capacity of detecting pathogens which are able to cause outbreaks, especially cross-border outbreaks, and these pathogens which can be handled even in biosafety level 3 and 4. For example, Ebola.
There is an ongoing outbreak of Ebola in Uganda, which is a spillover from the DRC outbreak. This outbreak is about 450 kilometers away from the diagnostics lab at UVRI. So samples have to be moved from 450 kilometers away to UVRI almost on a daily basis.
We realized a gap in our abilities to diagnose or to identify in a timely manner, to identify organisms that cause these highly infectious diseases in our region. We can make the diagnosis, but our diagnosis, we realized that that capacity to make a diagnosis in the shortest time possible was lacking. The East African community, working with the partner states, actually went ahead to develop this mobile lab project, which is in a way different from the way we have been doing things. We have static laboratories, but usually moving highly contagious samples from where they are collected to the static lab for testing and then getting the results, we found it challenging.
So the objective of this project is to build the capacity of the national public health laboratories within the East African community to be able to respond to outbreaks of pathogens of biological safety level 3 and 4, so high-risk pathogens such as Ebola. So we want to build the capacity within the national public health labs by providing them with mobile laboratories that they will be able to deploy to the outbreaks, but and also build the capacity of the staff within those national public health laboratories so that they are able to set up and operate the mobile labs and to analyze the data.
We have a lab that is behind me that we have assembled. And this lab is a mobile lab that we are undergoing training in, so that we can be able to deploy whenever we have outbreaks, whether within our country or even within the East African region, or even whenever we are called to assist, maybe for instance like in the West Africa region.
Through this project, there will be 9 mobile laboratories provided to the National Public Health Labs in the East African community. So there will be 2 mobile laboratories going to Uganda, 2 to Tanzania, 2 to Kenya, 1 to Rwanda, 1 to South Sudan, and 1 to Burundi.
We have been in Arusha for the last, coming to 1 month, that's about 26 days now for this training, and it has been a great success, I must say. I had a training in Hamburg, now we have had a refresher training here in Arusha. We may have, of course, more trainings to come, but this is to sharpen us up in use of these mobile laboratories, because these are very technical instruments that need robust training.
So the project basically has a very solid training concept. So that started last year in October in 2018. We invited 12 people from the 6 countries, 12 laboratory experts to Hamburg to have an introductory training of 4 weeks into the use, setup, and the diagnostics of the mobile laboratory. And now here in Arusha, in basically May and June 2019, we invited the same people to do a refresher training. We now also invited an additional 12 laboratory experts for the country. So now we have a total pool of 24 laboratory experts to also introduce them to the operations of these laboratories. We finally concluded with a field simulation exercise where we went to the Kenyan-Tanzanian border to take part in the EAC exercise that basically covered a cross-border outbreak of a newly identified virus or pathogen.
Through again the support from KFW collaborating with Bernard Northrop Institute of Medicine, we were able to bring on board 2 labs which have been actually deployed on the 2 sides of the border. There's 1 lab Kajiado area and 1 lab is deployed here in Namanga on the Tanzania side. Really, this is important for us because we actually are documenting it's a learning process, learning curve, how soon we can deploy a lab and activate a lab. We hope that at the end of this exercise we should be in position to get this. But also we're saying, is it feasible? What do we need? If we're saying it's a mobile lab, we want to deploy it in the community or in, what are the acrobatics? What is required? How long does it take actually to set up? What are the challenges? What are the issues that we need to bring on board as we actually have these laboratories deployed in the countries?
Each time we have visitors who were in the simulation exercise, and when they come, they ask questions, they observe what we do, and they can ask questions, and some among us give the answers. And then when we look on their face, we see that they was happy to see our mobile lab and how we are now able to do and to contain the outbreak when it happened in each area.
The simulation exercise was quite successful. We had the World Bank, we also had members from different countries, the ministries of health from Kenya, from also Tanzanian side, all came for this exercise. And these are very important exercise, especially to this region. In case we have an outbreak, how shall we respond? So this was a great exercise for both countries and also in East African region. We plan to go back to our countries and disseminate the information to the others so that we are prepared. In case we have an outbreak, we have a team that we can respond quickly so that to prevent the spread of infection.
In case we have an emergency, we can call and we can actually get quick response. So I can see the deployment of the mobile lab, other than now packing the samples and taking them to wherever they're going to be tested. It's actually easier to have a lab coming than actually taking the samples, and it also minimizes the transmission of this disease from one point to another.
As I'm from Tanzania, and we never had this kind of lab, and it's a new technology. So to be part of this project, I can call it, it's like the best opportunities that I got, because to work in this kind of labs, it's like a dream coming true. I've been really wanted to work in a very good laboratory that I can be able to save people. It's a very big opportunity.
Now, with the arrival or the use of a mobile lab like this one, it means the entire process will happen in the health center where the cases are. So once suspects are identified in the hospital or even in the area surrounding, these cases will be tested immediately, and a response mechanism can be started immediately, than waiting for several hours or even days to get the results. So this kind of technology of mobile laboratories is really very, very good.
Actually, according to the plan that the coordinators have put to this mobile lab project, I think we are doing pretty good regarding how to receive sample, process the samples up to the generating result, whether the results are positive or negative. So I think we have some confidence. We are pretty much confident that we can receive samples now. We can process samples, and we are ready. If there is a call of duty, we can go there. We are ready to receive samples, and we are ready to generate a high quality result.
Now I think I'm comfortable for sample reception and sample inactivation. Yeah, I'm ready also to teach my colleagues when I will be back in my country.
It is in a way self-sustaining. Once the labs are in the countries, we have the trainers who actually continue to train. So in a way we have staff that can actually use the labs, but also they continue to train other staff. The region greatly appreciates the support of the German Development Bank, that's KfW, and working with Bernard Nocht Institute of Tropical Medicine, who are actually giving us the technical, the capacity building, training the staff, and also helping to develop standard operating procedures.
Through this project, personally I've realized that East Africa community is one people. So, and with a project like this one, it shows like we even have one direction.